Section 1. The Japanese boy who understood human nature 200 years ago. What if a child from 200 years ago understood human nature better than us today? It sounds impossible, right? But in Japan, there was a young man who did exactly that. His name was Ninomiya Sontoku. Many people outside Japan may not know him, but for many years, his statue stood in Japanese schools, a boy carrying firewood while reading a book. Many people only remember that image. They think, why is this child important? But the real story is not about the statue. It is about a way of thinking. Sontoku was born in 1787 in Kanagawa, Japan. He grew up in a farming family. His childhood was not easy. Floods destroyed his family's fields. His parents lost their money. Their life became a daily struggle, but instead of giving up, he started observing people. He asked a simple question. Why do humans avoid small things, even when they know they matter? This question is surprisingly universal. Ancient Greek and Roman philosophers asked the same thing. People like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius studied human weakness. They wondered why humans suffer from their own choices. A Japanese farmer's child and Roman philosophers lived in different worlds, yet they found similar answers. Today, we will explore that connection. Different cultures, different centuries, but perhaps the same human heart. So I want to ask you something. In your country, do people also struggle with avoiding simple but important actions? Maybe our societies look different, but maybe human nature has always been the same. Section 2. The hard life that created his philosophy. Before people become wise, they often experience difficult moments. Ninomiya Sontoku was not born as a great thinker. He became one through hardship. When he was young, his family lost almost everything. A flood destroyed their farmland. The fields that supported their life disappeared overnight. His parents tried to rebuild everything, but the debt and pressure continued. Young Sontoku watched this closely. He saw something important. Life does not always reward people immediately. Sometimes effort takes time. Sometimes the result comes much later. This became one of his biggest lessons. When he was 12 years old, he carried firewood every day. The road was long. The work was exhausting. Many people thought he should only focus on physical labor. They did not understand why he studied while walking. But Sontoku believed something different. Even a difficult situation can become a place for growth. He did not say, "My life is unfair." He asked, "What can I do with what I have?" This way of thinking is very close to Stoicism. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught a similar idea. He said we should focus on what we can control. We cannot control everything around us, but we can control our choices. We can control our attitude. Sontoku lived this idea before he ever knew Stoic philosophy. A young Japanese farmer and an ancient Roman teacher. They came from completely different worlds, yet both understood the same truth. Your situation may not be perfect, but your response is always yours. This raises an interesting question. In your culture, do people focus more on changing the world or on changing themselves? Maybe the answer is somewhere between both. Section 3. The small actions that create great results. One of Sontoku's most important ideas was very simple. Small actions create big results. It sounds obvious, but many people forget this every day. Humans often want the final result immediately. They want success without the slow process. They want the harvest before planting the seed. But nature does not work that way. A seed needs time. A tree needs years. Human growth works the same way. Sontoku learned this from farming. He understood that every small effort was like planting a seed. One small action may look meaningless, but repeated many times, it changes everything. This idea appears in Stoic philosophy too. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote about daily discipline. He believed a person is shaped by repeated actions, not by one dramatic moment, not by one lucky event, but by what they do every day. A person becomes patient by practicing patience. A person becomes strong by practicing strength. A person becomes wise by practicing wisdom. This is where Sontoku and Stoicism meet. Both rejected the idea of a shortcut. They believed character is built slowly. Many people search for a secret method. They look for an easier path. But sometimes the easy path is actually the difficult one, because avoiding small responsibilities creates bigger problems later. Think about learning a language. You cannot become fluent in one night. Think about building trust. You cannot create a strong relationship in one day. Everything valuable grows step by step. Sontoku compared life to farming. You plant, you care for it, you wait. Then one day, you see the result. So here is a question. In your society, do people value patience, or do people expect fast results? Maybe this difference changes how we see success. Section 4. The trap of looking for the easy way. Sontoku noticed something interesting about human behavior. People often avoid simple things, but they chase complicated solutions. Why does this happen? Because simple actions usually look boring. They do not feel special. They do not make us feel talented. Many people want a secret. They want a method that changes everything instantly. But Sontoku believed this was a mistake. The hardest path is sometimes the one that looks easy, because it requires consistency. It requires patience. It requires doing ordinary things every day. For example, many people want better health, but they search for a magical solution, a special diet, a perfect exercise, a quick transformation. Yet the basic things are always the same. Sleep well, eat carefully, move your body. Repeat. The same idea appears in Stoicism. Epictetus taught that we should not chase things outside our control. Instead, we should build our own character. The Stoics did not believe happiness came from luck. They believed it came from daily practice. Sontoku also believed life was built through practice. He said people often want great achievements, but they ignore small responsibilities. They dream about changing their future, while forgetting what they can do today. This is a common human problem. We look at a mountain, then we feel afraid. We forget the mountain is climbed one step at a time. The first step looks small, but without it, we never move forward. A great life is not usually created by one huge decision. It is created by hundreds of small choices. So think about this. What small action are you avoiding today? Maybe that small thing is exactly where your future begins. Section 5, the mind that accepts reality and still moves forward. One of the most powerful parts of Sontoku's philosophy was acceptance. But acceptance does not mean giving up. It means seeing reality clearly. Many people misunderstand this. They think accepting reality means losing ambition. But Sontoku believed the opposite. Only when you understand your situation can you improve it. A farmer cannot grow crops by ignoring the soil. A person cannot change their life by ignoring reality. You must first see what exists. Then you decide what to do next. This idea connects deeply with Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself about reality. He was an emperor. He had power. He had wealth. But he still faced problems. Wars, political conflicts, personal pain. He understood something important. Power cannot remove every difficulty. Fame cannot control everything. Even an emperor is still human. So he focused on one thing, his own response. This is very close to Sontoku's way of thinking. Sontoku lost his fields. He lost his parents. He faced poverty. But he did not spend his life only asking, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, he asked, "What can I build from here?" That question changed everything. Sometimes people wait for perfect conditions. They think they will start when life becomes easier. But life rarely becomes perfect. The Stoics understood this. Sontoku understood this. A strong person is not someone who has no problems. A strong person is someone who can move forward despite problems. This does not mean ignoring sadness. It means not allowing sadness to control your entire life. So here is a question. In your culture, is accepting reality seen as weakness? Or is it seen as a form of wisdom? Different societies may answer differently. But this question appears everywhere. Because humans everywhere face the same struggles. Section 6 character is built through daily choices. Sontoku believed that a person's true value appears in small moments. Not only in big achievements. Not only when everyone is watching, but in ordinary daily actions. How do you treat people? How do you handle small responsibilities? How do you act when nobody praises you? These questions reveal character. Many people think success comes from talent. They admire intelligence. They admire social skills. They admire people who seem naturally gifted. But Sontoku believed something deeper mattered. A sincere attitude. A willingness to keep doing what is right. This idea connects with Stoicism again. The Stoics focused on virtue. For them, a good life was not about collecting possessions. It was about becoming a better person. Epictetus taught that your character is your real possession. Everything else can disappear. Money can disappear. Status can disappear. Other people's opinions can change. But the person you become stays with you. Sontoku's life showed this idea. He was not famous because he wanted attention. He became respected because he helped people. He rebuilt villages. He improved communities. He focused on actions, not appearances. This is interesting because different cultures sometimes define success differently. Some societies value achievement. Others value harmony. Some value personal freedom. Others value responsibility. But maybe all of them are asking the same question. What kind of person should we become? That question is bigger than any single culture. It is a human question. So I want to ask you, in your country, what creates respect? Is it success and status? Or is it kindness and reliability? Maybe the answer tells us a lot about what a society truly values. Section 7, the hidden power of giving and trust. Another important idea in Sontoku's philosophy was giving. At first, this may sound strange. Why should giving something away create success? Many people think success means collecting more money, more status, more advantages. But Sontoku saw something different. He believed human relationships grow through trust. And trust begins with small actions, a kind word, a small favor, a moment of consideration. These things may look meaningless, but they create connections over time. This idea also appears in many philosophies. The Stoics believed humans are connected. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people should live as part of a larger community. A person is not separate from others. We influence each other. Our actions affect the world around us. Sontoku understood this through everyday life. He believed that helping others was not simply kindness. It was also a way to build a stronger society. When people support each other, everyone becomes stronger. This does not mean giving everything away. It means understanding that life is not only about personal gain. Sometimes helping another person today creates opportunities tomorrow. A simple example is trust. Imagine someone who always remembers important moments. Someone who treats others with respect. Someone who helps without expecting an immediate reward. People naturally want to support that person later. Not because of magic, because trust has been built. Sontoku believed life works like farming. You plant seeds, you wait, then the results appear. Kind actions are also seeds. They may take time, but they can grow into something valuable. So think about your own life. What seeds are you planting every day? Are they creating trust, or are they creating distance? Section 8, why great thinkers from different worlds reach similar truths. When we compare Sontoku and Stoic philosophers, something interesting appears. They lived in different times. They lived in different cultures. They used different words. But their questions were surprisingly similar. Why do humans suffer? Why do we make bad choices? What creates a good life? These questions appear everywhere. Ancient Rome had Stoicism. Japan had Sontoku's practical philosophy. The environments were different, but human problems were not so different. A Roman emperor struggled with anger and responsibility. A Japanese farmer struggled with poverty and rebuilding. Both faced situations they could not fully control, and both searched for a better response. This does not mean their philosophies were exactly the same. They had different backgrounds, different goals, different ways of explaining their ideas. But sometimes different roads can lead near the same destination. This is what makes philosophy fascinating. It is not about finding one perfect answer. It is about seeing different perspectives. For example, Stoicism often focuses on controlling your mind. Sontoku focused on daily actions and contribution. One looks inside. The other looks at life in society. But both ask people to become better versions of themselves. Maybe wisdom is not owned by one country. Maybe it appears whenever humans seriously think about life. A farmer, an emperor, a teacher, a warrior. They may look completely different, but they all face fear. They all face uncertainty. They all search for meaning. That is why old philosophy still feels alive today, because the human heart has not changed as much as we think. So here is something to consider. Do you think wisdom belongs to a culture? Or can the same truth appear in many places around the world? Section 9. The real meaning of success. According to Sontoku and Stoicism, today many people define success in a very simple way. A higher income, a better position, more attention from others, more achievements. But Sontoku questioned this idea. He asked something deeper. What is the purpose of success? If someone gains everything but loses their character, did they really succeed? This question connects strongly with Stoicism. The Stoics did not reject success. They did not say money or achievement was meaningless. Instead, they asked people to put things in the right place. External things are not everything. Your character matters more. Marcus Aurelius had everything many people desire. He was powerful. He was respected. He had wealth. But he still reminded himself every day, do not become controlled by outside things. Control your own mind. Sontoku expressed a similar idea through farming. A rich harvest is important, but the farmer must care for the soil first. Without healthy soil, nothing grows. For humans, the soil is character, patience, honesty, discipline, responsibility. These qualities create the foundation. Many people want the fruit, but they ignore the roots. They want recognition, but they avoid the daily effort. They want trust, but they forget small acts. Both Sontoku and the Stoics believe the same thing. A good life is built from the inside out. First, become a better person. Then your actions and results follow. This does not guarantee an easy life. Problems will still come. Failure will still happen, but you will have a stronger foundation. And with that foundation, you can face difficulty. So ask yourself, are you chasing only the results, or are you also building the person who can carry those results? Section 10.1. Unshakable mind. Many different worlds. Ninomiya Sontoku's story began with a simple boy. A boy carrying firewood. A boy studying while walking. But behind that image was a deep philosophy about life. He learned from hardship. He learned from nature. He learned from small daily actions. His message was simple. Do the small things properly. Build yourself slowly. Respect reality. Help others. Do not search for shortcuts. These ideas may sound ordinary, but perhaps the most powerful truths are often simple. The Stoic philosophers reached similar ideas thousands of miles away. Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. They lived different lives, but they also believed humans become stronger through discipline. They believed freedom begins inside the mind. They believed we should focus on what we can control. This connection does not mean Japan and Rome were the same. They were not. Their histories were different. Their cultures were different. Their words were different. But maybe human beings everywhere face the same challenges. We all experience fear. We all experience failure. We all want happiness. And because of that, different civilizations sometimes discover similar wisdom. That is what makes philosophy interesting. It is not about choosing one answer. It is about seeing how different people understand life. A Japanese farmer, a Roman emperor, two completely different worlds. But perhaps both were searching for the same thing. A calm and strong mind. A mind that does not break easily. So before we finish, think about this. What idea from another culture has changed the way you see life? Maybe wisdom is not limited by borders. Maybe the best ideas belong to everyone.